Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger and my friends. Oh my lord, we got a lot of Street Fighter 6 news today. There's a lot going on and it's some pretty big stuff. We now have proper gameplay. We know about new characters. You're looking at one right now. We know about gameplay modes. We know about gameplay itself, how mechanics work. And in this video, we're going to be going through pretty much all of it. So all of this comes to us via the Sony State of Play event. So people were wondering, would Street Fighter 6 show up, would it not, or would they save it for Evo? And well, fair enough, we have it here, right? So let's show you the main trailer and show you a lot of the things that are going on. So Street Fighter 6 now, with all the info that we have, this is more than just another fighting game. They're kind of swinging for the fences here, and it has what would seem to be a very large single player component. We'll talk about the battle systems in a moment here. But as the main trailer opens with the beautiful new Capcom logo and the logo itself, it got a total rework, by the way. This is the new logo. It looks so much better. It's got like spray paint, graffiti, all that kind of stuff. Much more Street Fighter than the old kind of by the numbers corporate one. We learn that at least a giant part of Street Fighter 6 is set in Metro City itself. A lot of the establishing shots are Metro City, and to that point, we have one of the main modes of the game, the World Tour. And the World Tour, as far as I can tell, at least from what we see in the trailers here, is effectively an open world Metro City game. You have a lot of familiar faces, such as Damned here, who is one of the bosses of the first Final Fight game, and you have a character and you run through all of Metro City. You can explore the environment, you can climb around, break stuff, maybe there's a turkey in those barrels, talk to people. Like, it's a proper open world, which is certainly a much more expansive single player experience than anything Street Fighter has ever had to offer beforehand. Not only that, you can meet people in the open world and challenge them to fights. As you can see right here, we have to slow it down because it's like literally only there for a frame of animation. But when you challenge this gentleman, it opens up a fight screen here and you can attack people. So perhaps this is like a custom creation thing. You make your own character and take on the world of Metro City. On Capcom's official website, they have this to say: the World Tour is an immersive single-player story mode. This is a completely new experience that defies genre labels, so it's not just a fighting game. Carve out your own legend on the streets, and that's all we got for now. But yeah, so this, whatever it is very different than normal. Now on to the characters. We got at least 5 characters out of this trailer. We have Chun-Li, all new look, no more spike bracelets, although still bracelets. Chun-Li is no longer a cop, and she has basically moved on to the role of the martial arts master, teaching other people. There is actual progression here. Time has moved forward from Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter 5. Speaking of which, hey, Ryu! He is no longer the classic Karate Gi Ryu we've known for 30 some years now. He's evolved, he's a bit older, he's a bit wiser, he's actually learned some new tricks, and we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so he's rocking the beard outfit now, lots of stuff. Also, speaking of Master Chun-Li, this is Chun-Li with Li Fen. Li Fen's the girl she saved from Shadaloo in Street Fighter 5, and here's Chun-Li kicking her in the back of the head. Maybe Li Fen's a playable character, we don't know. Now our all-new character here. This is Jamie, and Jamie is all about drunken kung fu and, well, like break dancing, basically. He combines both, and yes, like a proper drunken kung fu character, he does take a swig from the bottle. And like Shun-Di from Street Fighter, his drink level actually matters. And skipping ahead to the end of the trailer here, we have Kimberly. Who is Kimberly? I don't know. She's a new challenger, so I'm assuming she's another all-new character for the game. Got some long hair and can bend real good, I guess. That's about all I got to give you right now. What you see here is everything we know. Kimberly is in Street Fighter 6. And last and certainly least, Luke. Luke's here. You knew that. Here's a bit of a cinematic. It could be something from story mode. We're not too sure. We're in a Mad Gear hangout. Mad Gear is seemingly very resurgent here because it is in Metro City. And now that we've seen some of the characters, some gameplay. And here's the thing, we got a lot of mechanics that we now know for the game as well. Some classics are returning feature-wise in, I guess, a new rebranded way. Now, just FYI, in this gameplay example here, it is zoomed in a little bit. The characters will not be this big on screen normally. And some classics are returning, like Ryu target combo, there it is. Luke's target combos, all that kind of stuff. Luke combos in general, there it is. So various hits, bits and bobs. We don't know all the details yet. We'll have to, get more gameplay. But some things we do know, such as this for Ryu. This is a buff. That is a Denjin charge. It powers up his Hadokens and also some of his new moves, like the Hasho Geki, a double-fisted energy explosion. So an all-new attack and a self-buff stance, effectively. Ryu is learning some new tricks. He's not just the same guy he's always been. And now let's get into the mechanics as we now know them. Like stuff like this, you would assume, oh, it's an EX move, right? Right color for it. Not quite. And then there's some other stuff like this guy here. Oh, this looks like a focus attack, doesn't it? Not quite. So, well, let's get into it. So here is the UI of Street Fighter 6. I know this is a very busy image, please forgive it, but it's what we got to work with here. So now looking at the top. So at the very top is your health. That's easy enough to figure out. But the green bars below your health, that's a new, very core mechanic of the game. This is the drive system. And no, not the King of Fighter 13 drive system, but this is Street Fighter 6's drive system, and it basically powers everything. So first we have the drive impact. Every one of these drive moves takes a specific amount of drive bar, which does regenerate over time, and we'll talk more about it in a second here. But drive impact is a powerful strike that can absorb an incoming attack. It can also wall splat people if they're in the corner. So in the end, what is this? Well, it's effectively focus attack plus. Here you can see Jamie doing it, and once again, like a focus attack, it can go through moves, but this can go through multiple moves, and also all the characters have their own color-coded ones. So Jamie is yellow, Chun-Li is blue, and Ryu is the classic inky black and white. Color is a big part of this game. So next up here, we have the drive parry. So automatically repel an opponent's attack and replenish your drive if you successfully parry an attack. And if you time it well, you get a perfect parry. So yes, parries are back. Although they're tied to the drive gauge, they're not free to do. And it's basically a parry stance, if you will. So let's look at an example here. So here we see Luke doing the parry stance. So he's entering his parry drive, and as you can see here, as much as Jamie's trying to hit him, Luke's just batting everything away. Now, there's still quite a few unknowns here, right? Like, are certain attacks unparryable? Can you defend from every single thing? Like, if it's a stance and you have to hold it, will you get thrown for free, right? Like, that's usually one of the penalties for messing up a counterattack in various fighting games, is you get thrown. It's not quite melty blood, right? Because it does cause resource, and it's very dire resource. If you drain your drive bar, you will suffer big penalties, so it's not something you want to do. But still, that's what we know right now for parry, is basically you just hit two mediums, and you enter your parry stance. Here is what we can assume is a perfect parry with the perfect timing. As you see here, big color flashes, and so much color on the screen. Holy crap, like even an inkling from Splatoon would be jealous from this. Holy crap. So that looks to be a perfect time parry drive. Same with Ryu here. So looks to be perfect time parry drive on the attack here. Big color splash yet again. And then he follows up with a Shoryuken. Almost certainly going to be a very big deal, very big part of the game. Question is, will they be frame one? On the flip here, now you can see Chun-Li doing her drive impact, her effective focus attack here. So she tanks through the move. Now when you armor through stuff, looks like you glow red, and then just giant color explosion. Still plenty more drives to go here. Overdrive arts. These are effectively EX moves. So any two buttons, when you do your move, you'll get the overdrive art, the EX version of the move. The biggest thing to note here is they're tied to the drive meter, not your super meter. Your super meter is a completely different resource in this game. But otherwise, they're just EX moves with a different name. Next up here is the drive rush. So perform a quick forward rush from a drive parry or a cancelable normal attack. Drive rush from a parry costs 1 bar. Drive rush from normals costs 3 bars. So this is effectively your focus attack dash cancel, basically. So it is from normals, not special specifically, but as we can see in the shot here, so Ryu goes for the parry stance first, cancels out into the green stance, which is our drive rush stance, and rushes forward and just completely bamboozles Chun-Li and just smacks her around, right? So this is going to be a heavy movement thing, for sure. So either you parry, quickly cancel out of the parry and dash forward, or do it from a normal. So a lot of offense is definitely going to be possible from this, a lot of pressure, but it's going to be very expensive because doing it off normals is 3 bars. Once again here, your drive meter, it regains over time, but if you drain it, there are penalties. And finally, drive reversals. They're just V reversals, alpha counters, whatever you want to call them. It's the classic Street Fighter defensive mechanic. That costs 2 drive bars. So that's the drive system, and it seems pretty strong. And once again, everything is balanced by the fact that you have a gauge for it, right? That's the green bars just below your health. It starts full round 1, so if you just want to start going crazy on EX moves immediately, the game will let you do it. However, they do state there's a big penalty. There's a burnout mode if you burn through all your gauge, so you really got to avoid that. And of course, at the bottom, there's supers. It says 3, so you can hold up the 3 bars. It might be that there's different levels of supers. Like here's a big cinematic super, but there also could be like quick level 1 supers as well. Say like the King of Fighters. We'll have to wait and see, but supers have nothing to do with the drive gauge itself. Here we can see some from Jamie here, about to rip out your throat. And Ryu has like a Denjin Shin Shoryuken, which is really great. Like, so big fancy cinematic supers. So that's the gameplay systems as we now know it. So we know that there's a big single player mode with an open city to explore, which is great. And we also have what would assumedly be the online experience. And that is the Battle Hub. So big esports looking arena here. You can see those head-to-head cabinets there. So that means to me, expect the Arc System style of lobby where you both ready up at a cabinet. Hopefully there's more traditional matchmaking as well besides that. Some people like it, some people don't. So hopefully we get both for both and just make everyone happy. Now, besides all that, let's talk controls. And yes, there is easy controls, but don't worry. If you want to play normal, proper Street Fighter, it's there. It's called the classic control type. Don't worry. And if you do 2 mediums, that's the drive parry. If you do 2 heavies, that's the focus attack, the drive impact, and 2 lights is throw like usual. But if you want easier inputs, if you're newer to fighting games or you don't want such a challenge, there is now the modern control type. So basically this is easy mode, right? Simple button combinations and designed for new people. So if you mash a button, you can get basically an assisted combo, says, but auto combo. Throw on a single button, like there's no need to hit multiple buttons at the same time for things like parry or the focus attack. Lights, heavies, mediums, they're just one button concerns. Like they don't got to distinguish between punch and kick. Just wail away on the button. On the modern control type, which I don't like that term, makes it sound like the real way to play is bad somehow. But anyways, on the modern control type, you can throw a fireball with a single button, right? And the thing is, you can also modify it. So if you press triangle, it'll throw a base Hadouken with Ryu. But if you press left, down, or right, then, well, it changes how the moves work. So, as you can see here in this little helpful diagram we got here, so left in triangle is the Tatsu, Hurricane Kick. Right in triangle is the classic Shoryuken. And down in triangle is the Donkey Kick, which has another new name again. Now, Ryu has more moves than this, as we've already gone over, so this could be a little difficult when you have more moves than easy inputs for buttons. Cross that bridge when we get there, I guess. And also doing this in real time, folks, turns out I was right. We actually do have 3 levels of supers, a level 1, level 2, and level 3 super. So Shinku Hadoken, Shin Hashogeki, and Shin Shoryuken all can be made easy inputs as well. And assist combos. So once again, this is effectively auto combos. So R2, then to smash square, you get one kind of combo. Mash X, get another kind of combo. Mash circle, get another kind of combo. So if you're looking for easier stuff, Street Fighter 6 has your back. And that's basically pretty much all the main things we know right now. Some other little things here, like character-specific stuff. Chun-Li can do her up kicks like by itself now. You don't get tied to a target combo. And she's now officially a stance character. So right here, when she goes low to the ground, that is a stance, and she can do moves from it. So I guess kind of keeping with the fact that she's now a master, right? Very interesting to give Chun-Li of all characters a stance. But you know what? I'm down for it. I think that's kind of cool. Luke, still Luke, has an EX hit grab now, I guess, and his projectiles that everybody loves. They will be in Street Fighter 6. And Jamie, so Jamie, once again, he is actually powered by drunken boxing. The more he drinks, the stronger he'll get. And certain moves only unlock depending at your drink levels, so that's very cool. And that's all the gameplay stuff we know for Street Fighter 6. Now, there's actually even more Street Fighter 6 stuff to talk about. A lot to do with like Easter eggs in the trailer, and check the channel for a future video on that, because I already taking up a lot of your time here. But so far, I'm a big fan of a lot of the changes I'm seeing. The fact that they've incorporated a lot of the base mechanics people love across a lot of the games, you know, parries from Third Strike, Street Fighter 4 focus attacks, people love those, and now they're effectively returning, and everything seems easy and intuitive and all tied to one drive system. That also seems fairly intuitive because you're just given all of it at the start, and it's up to you to burn as much or as little as you want. Obviously, we got a lot more to learn. Hopefully by Evo time, we'll get more trailers, hopefully new character reveals. We'll see if Chun-Li's student is a character as well, because she has a bit more detailed than average, model, so we'll see, I guess. But all in all, things are looking really good. I am very impressed with what I'm seeing. Street Fighter 6, let's be blunt here, has a lot of expectations to live up to, and in this very early look, everything seems very smartly designed, a lot of callbacks to classic stuff, and a lot of new stuff. I love the updated looks for Ryu and Chun-Li, and Luke, well, Luke's in the game, right? But yeah, so overall, thumbs up. Chun-Li has the Street Fighter V stand heavy punch, which I'm a big fan of because everyone hates that move, but I love it. So that's great for me. And just everything's looking really, really good. I'm sorry if I'm fanboying out here a little bit here. I love Street Fighter. Street Fighter is a very big part of my life, and I'm very happy that Street Fighter 6 seems to be coming out swinging. Anyways, my friends, that's it for now. Once again, check the channel in the future. There'll be more Street Fighter 6 updates on the channel, as well as other fighting games. And until then, well, that's the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Street Fighter.